Hey y'all, it's Tasha again, and today, right now, in this particular vid, I'm just gonna give my little tad bit note with jokes and talk a little bit. Well, not notes, really just like the names, if I can remember, of the certain bishops and stuff like that. Um, now, I first was kind of sketchy about, skeptical about possibly doing a review on on this show, just because of the content, the religious thing. I believe in God and so forth, but I haven't been consistently in church for some years and stuff now. Um, but you know what? It's who the three people who inspired me through so far. I still gotta look at the Ghetto View. That's THA Ghetto View. If y'all want to go check her out, she's doing reviews. I still gotta look at hers. Mike 8801 also did reviews on the Preachers of L.A. And much love from KY Kentucky, did the review. So I just said, you know what, I can go ahead and do a review and also avoid cussing, you know. So we actually are dealing with, ministers, bishops, and pastors. And this first episode is just giving an introduction to their life. Now, I don't know if you know, if the same producers, writers, or whatever are the same people who did the Sisterhood, what the spring, summer, what was this, the spring, summer, whatever, whoever did the Sisterhood. Did that come out this year or last year? Whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Who did the Sisterhood? The reason why I say it is you got most of the cast is, minorities, mostly blacks, and or African American, whatever. And you have one white person as one of the cast members, or first ladies, or whatever the case is. And it's kind of the same with this as the pastor ministers, as we have Pastor Jay Haysup, the skateboard person. He happens to be, the quote quote white person. And I'm not saying making a big deal, but I'm just saying I'm wondering if it's the same people. But this is totally different because all these bishops and pastors here are literally very lovely. It was totally different in the Sisterhood because I didn't watch all the episodes. I kind of watched like groups like with Much Love and stuff like that. But it was kind of a different setting because not only just dealing with the women, but you had a couple couples over there that were struggling financially. All five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, all five of ministers, bishops, and pastors that were mentioned in here all are living quite nicely. I don't know about Minister Dietrich, which is a shame that I know a little bit about gospel music, but I didn't know Minister Dietrich is an artist from Detroit. He's well known actually as far as winning 6 sales awards. He's very talented as far as like being a gospel artist and so forth, and you know besides also just being a minister. So well, let's get started. Now we have Minister Darius, which I just mentioned 2 seconds ago, and he actually, like I said, has won all these awards. He's very talented. He's very well known in the gospel music category, and just music scene, but not just gospel, just everything. Now, his story is that he got married very young, and there was some infidelity issues going on. But what I notice is that he doesn't say whether it was on his fault, her fault, or both parties had was the reason. So he ends up leaving, but before the I said divorce. I mean divorce is finalized. He goes, he moves out to LA, basically to just like get his life straightened together and go that route. And he rents a girl, I guess, was also attending another church, or his fiance now named Dominique. And they gotten together literally, and there was some premarital sex involved, and now they have this beautiful little child. But what I'm saying is that the interesting part also, when you look further into the episode, is they don't live with each other, but yet Dominique lives with her mom. And she even says the interesting point is they're not staying together for religious reasons. Now, like I said, I'm not. I'm a spiritual person more so than in religious and everything like that. But last time I checked, 9 times out of 10, y'all had probably have fornicated, and this beautiful the blessing of this baby came to be about. So I'm kind of wondering why all of a sudden now religion play a part of it. And I'm just saying is that it was. Is it gonna make a difference now if y'all live with each other and y'all already engaging in activities that already was supposed to be saved for marriage? I'm sorry about that, y'all. I'm just saying, I don't know, but I'm just, it's a little question mark issue there because I know she was saying like the fact that because of who he is, and see that's also was somewhat Minister Derrick's downfall. So he's trying to do a comeback concert to bring, basically let y'all know he still can move the crowd and get people to praise our heavenly Father and so forth. But really because it was the controversy and to consider that scandal is, you're still technically married to your wife, and here you are not only engaging in relationships, but you are, what he's doing. But I mean, I think they still, have them visits, or she comes over spending out of the house because he just sitting on her lap and putting his hand on her behind. And I'm just okay. Yeah, all right. Okay, next scene, when this goes and still about the concerts and everything else, because she and her, the little girl was visiting. I think the little baby's name was Destiny. I think. Okay. Next, we have Bishop Godson, Godson, whatever. He used to be a Crip, for 7 years. He was on PCP. He was basically one of those situations where I was in the wrong environment, but I lived and I learned, and now I'm a better person type of situation. He has a wife, late first lady. If I'm saying it right, Gibson. I don't know if they have any children or not, but he still goes and attends back and forth and visit, like conferences and service and talk to gang members and try to show them, get them the way of life God to show, like, there is a better way for you. But, because there's one situation with somebody that was caught on the drive-by and he's worried about him retaliating, so he wants to talk to him and a couple other people. And he basically turns out a couple months ago buried his father, which they showed a preview 3 months ago, and God rest his soul, he had died, I think, must have been from an overdose or the effects of drugs, I guess. I think he was on heroin or something like that. His name was Moppy, God rest his soul. And so he really wants to touch on, he's telling his wife, he got the Glock on him, he got, Mr. Hammer time on him, just in case, because he has to go on the side, but he has, some protection just in case if it's needed. And his wife was trying to say, you don't have to do that route, but he said, he's gonna go ahead. So he knows what it's like for these people, whatever, who are in the gangs. He knows what's like literally being in his shoes, like empathy. Not just having to be just because, but he lived and learned that lifestyle and has outgrown it. You know, so as far as I'm concerned, as far as with he's in the first 2 minutes, I can't decide situations. Like I said, we'll find out later on. But it's one person that so far kind of like you get out flat out that like they are on some higher than. Okay, Mr. I am everything. We'll get to him in a second. Now we have the player. I think he's either pastor or minister, Noel Jones. He's been divorced for like 25 years, right? And he's just been like, women come up to us like rock stars. I noticed like Dedrick is quite a few of these pastors and deacons and ministers. They kind of keep comparing like Derek, the minister Derek was saying something about like we have like the life, like rock star lifestyle. I mean, I'm thinking like, was Rockstar? Okay. And it's kind of like the same like Pastor of the player from the Himalayas. Noah Jones is saying about he's been dating women. He got this late friend that is cold for friends with benefits, okay? And he letting her talking to her like, I am the prize and you should be honored to be with all of this, okay? That is the impression that he is giving us in this thing. And she letting know, what if I don't be loved with all of that, okay? There's so much interesting going on. I'm just like, wow, okay. Now, I mean, I know this is jumping ahead, but I seriously think this might be a little tad bit better than the sister. Sister was okay, but I'm thinking this is a whole other level, okay? But yeah, he's letting you know he get in an indirect way that women approach him. It's a nice way of saying that I get a lot of loving, okay, and I praise, worship, and I love the finer things in life, okay. Okay, next person. Now we go to Pastor J. Okay, Pastor J is is the pastor like I was referring to, like the I'm not gonna say he's an outsider, looking in. And he kind of said it by himself because when they ended up going him into their council, he was talking about how he felt so out of place because he couldn't dance like Bishop Godson was doing. I'm jumping the street ahead, but you get what I'm saying. Now, Pastor J, is a minister. He got tattoos, stuff like that. And I look at his congregation, and most of I mean, at least about 75 people. A lot of people, got tattoos here, tattoos there. So he basically is keeping up with the come as you are thing, which is not bad. You should be able, it's just you shouldn't be judgmental person. That's just my opinion, okay? So he, came from some other state, and then his family moved, I think, in his late teens and stuff to LA. And of course, you have the skateboard generation and stuff like that coming. And so he learned how to skateboard. He, got, fell down the track because unfortunately he was dealing with addiction, addiction as well, and drugs and so forth. And eventually he was able to pick himself back up. And now he has this, this wonderful ministry, and he's just, trying to relate a message. And him also his the lady, I think she's a minister as well. She's a minister as well and does the work. His wife, Mrs. Hasty, like I said, I don't know that, I don't want to mispronounce their last name. So that's kind of like the story was, one kind of reminds me of Bishop Godson, where I was on the wrong tracks, but I rised above it, and I'm trying to do better. At least that's what we got so far. Now we have Pastor Wayne Chaney. It's really no bad stuff about him, but it's just all this bow chicka wow wow stuff, okay? Because he's talking about family. There's nothing wrong with showing public affection, and there's some people religious who feel like you shouldn't have it. I mean, I don't think there's nothing wrong with it as long as you ain't groping and doing all the stuff like you dry humping in the middle in front of everybody. But he's all talking about you could be, sanctified, I think, and sexual. And I'm just like, oh man, he just, he's like, here's his wife, he's fine, she's fine. Hey, it's just all this bound chicka wow wow. And so I was not surprised that I see kids coming out, because I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised before they even said it. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised I had a couple kids, because they just seem like they get a lot of time in certain activities. Okay, um, yeah, so he, the ministries of life, but that's just the same that both him and his wife seem involved, and they're very in love with each other, and they do a lot of loving things. Yeah. Ooh, okay. And now last but not least, oh my God, much love. Oh, talked about this dude. He comes later in the episode, but I mean, this is who I'd call Mr. I am everything. And I mean, they did it with all the rest of the pastor ministers and stuff like that. But I mean, at times, I don't know about y'all, but I felt like it was like a gospel version of MTV Cribs, because you seen Porsches, Lamborghinis, mansions, swimming pool, just all this stuff. I'm surprised somebody opened the door and said, "Hi, welcome to MTV Cribs." That's what I was kidding. And he just seemed like, it was something about, and you can't judge a book by its cover, but in his case, his cover looked kind of very obvious, like, you know, just did anybody watch wrestling? And I mean, I haven't watched wrestling in years and stuff, but I do remember the character Goldust. And you know how used to come on stage in the ring and stuff, and he blow all this glitter, just like look at me and stuff. And that's kind of like this dude's attitude. Now, much love will say about you look like Boris Day, but I mean, I'm sorry, I gotta laugh. I was going for this evening. Oh my God. But I mean, he do kind of look like him, but like I said, he just has this pretty boy, I am everything, look at me type of attitude. And, God has made me this way. I am everything. Hallelujah. But it's this arrogance that it seems like he carries himself. And he already proven like, an interesting character. We'll put it that way. Now, some strange type of thing going on. There's some death threats that's being put, that his wife had received some type of email, that somebody's claiming to be her, and one of their, they have a couple, they have like 3 or 4 children. I forgot how many they said. but somebody's making threats, pretending to be them. So they have like some type of stalker situations or stalkers situation at hand. So they didn't really go into it, but that's kind of fortunate. Hoping they got it straightened out. Now, whew, now who? What now? What is the thing? So this main focus of this episode is Derek, Concert and Bishop Johnson, but still intertwines all with each other. Now, then also coming up, the Bishop Johnson has a man cave. And I mean, I heard of man caves. I guess my dad kind of has a man cave downstairs in the basement in the room. That's kind of like his office or stuff area. But I mean, I thought when Bishop Johnson was talking about he was going to have a man cave, that is like, room most 9 times 10 to themselves that, you have like video games, stuff like that, you in your own bone. That's just a man area that they just really relax, at least to my knowledge. Put in the comments below what is the definition really of a man cave to y'all, if y'all know. So, but his man cave, I know I'm jumping ahead, his man cave is a whole house. Old house since his wife got so many clothes. They just had so much money they could just move to another house. Man cave is a house. I'm thinking it's an office, a big room, or maybe a garage of some sort. No, it's a whole house. And I just know little house like, a couple bedrooms, 3, 4 bedrooms and stuff like that, 3.5. It's a nice looking house. I digress. Okay, let's go ahead and keep it rolling. Now, Mr. Player for the Himalayas. Kind of, I think after that, really isn't shown no more names. They just give him a quick introduction, and kind of like Jay pops in, Pastor Jay pops in and out of there a couple times as well. But like I said, Wayne Chaney also kind of like Pastor Wayne Chaney wasn't really shown that much neither. Yeah, but it's really focused on Minister Derek and the Bishop Johnson situations. Now, Minister Derrick's really nervous about this upcoming concert. It's a make or break as far as a comeback in his career. And then, Bishop Johnson does talk to JR, what is Moby Mobby's son, Mobby's son. I think I can't pronounce the man's name, but JR Jr. and some two other men. He's trying to convince them to come to the concert, and it's better Jay-Z, Beyonce concert, stuff like that. And it's another young man and somebody else, like get your life changed. I've been there, done that, and we can help you get to the better life. And he's telling Junior, whatever that was in that recent survivor drive-by, that don't retaliate. Move on, heal. Don't get revenge, basically. So Minister Davis, of what I've seen of the episode, that concert, just the snippets of it, I felt I could see why he got on the Stellar Awards. It just seemed like the energy, he was brain praise God, and it looked like a very wonderful stellar performance. And you got Bishop Johnson doing some dance. That's what Pastor Jay I was referring to earlier was talking about, how he was just kind of made some moves and he felt so awkward, like the awkward white guy or something like that he was saying. So anti-ways, after I think before, it's in between the concert, taking a break, they have altar call. And Bishop Gibson, him and his man bag, I'm just saying, it was a man bag, um, came up and he puts JR, the other man, I think his name was Rico, and his basically those two, I think were the main ones on the spot. I think the other two, it was one, two other young men, and they also were with them. He put them on the spot. Usually, altar call, it's usually it's anybody ready who hasn't like, joined that particular church or so forth. Usually they don't put you out on there and call certain people out. He was like, here go Bishop Johnson was like, Rico, Gerald, come on to the stage. Come up to the stage. So they just get called out there and stuff like that. But they do call the stage, and Bishop Constant was just letting them know like some of the background about the situation, about them, about them being a gang, so forth, stuff like that. And here, Minister Derrick, I guess after 5 minutes, and maybe he was getting back to the show, maybe he was thinking like, oh, this is my comeback. So that stuff, y'all can take it and have a little meeting somewhere else, and maybe that's why he came to Bishop Johnson, was kind of like, it's time for y'all to wrap it up. So I think maybe it could have been he was so like trying to make focus that people focus on the comeback and to get his career back going to where he wants it to be, that he kind of just was like, okay, Bishop God, hallelujah, Heavenly Father, but can y'all take that somewhere else? Without physically pushing them like this, but still, pushing them with words. So, anyways, I think everybody goes because Bishop Johnson wants like the man cave is a place where men can hang out, wherever the case is, and vent and stuff. Because after when he was preparing that, because he was talking to his wife, Miss Mrs. Johnson, and he was just saying how first he was kind of upset because even in the confessionals he kind of was, you know, him and his mustache was very upset about how he slashed Alticall. So after that, she just let him know, like, don't take it that to the heart, sweetie. Just do, you did what you do supposed to do, and just calm down. So he's telling his wife, make sure you get chip shoulders, wingdings, pizza, and everything, and salad. Okay, and don't forget the croutons. I mean, he didn't ask for all that, but you get what I'm saying, okay? So for the man cave, but like I said, I thought the man cave was behind in the garage or some big garage or maybe some condo, something like that apartment. And like I said, it's flat out a whole house. Okay, so all the deacons, pastors, whatever, come there, and I didn't see nothing but BMWs. But I did see one American car, and I think it was a Cadillac Escalade. And here comes Bishop I Am Everything Clarence coming out of there, out of his car, and you can already tell. I mean, I know he said, I think one of his sons is one of his personal assistants got him, and it looked like one of his bodyguards. So there's a talk here, and Minister Dickerick and Bishop I Am Everything Clarence almost get into it because here's Mr. Derek talking. You know how sometimes you have these deacons and preachers and stuff at certain churches, whatever they do a sermon and so forth, whatever. And Minister Derek in this conversation they were talking about I guess like basically about should we charge you said give the word of the Lord. And here's Bishop Clarence, Mr. I Am Everything, okay? It's sitting here basically saying, he's trying to say, like, yes, people should pay a fee and so forth and blah, 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 okay? And Mr. Dare still thinks like that's not okay to be doing that. There's some churches, some areas that may not have the money to come forward. We should be able at times or whatever, be able to work with these people or do it, I guess, for the heart, for us doing the work for the Lord. And sometimes it calls for us that we're doing it from the heart. That's kind of like he was trying to say here. And here, Mr. I Am Everything still saying like, well, if they want to, if they can't, basically in between the lines, if they can't afford me, they cannot hear the word from me. It is a job that I must do, but must do, and I must be paid for these services, okay? So I can keep my hair extra curly and so forth, okay? And keep my suits and keep my entourage and look good doing it, okay? So, he admits that he has an entourage, and here's Pastor Derek, like, no, Minister Derek, like, what? What in the world do you need an entourage for? You didn't come here with an entourage. What was? And I think it was some argument about, the apostles, but the apostles weren't no entourage, type of thing. And, basically in the end, Bishop I'm Everything Clarence thinks that he's insulted and tries to make it seem like, Minister Derek don't know what he's talking about, blah, blah, blah. So I'm Everything in the end, I guess maybe possibly I don't know what's going to be an altercation now, but it was pretty heated. So Mr. Bishop I'm Everything ends up leaving him and his lovely curl and his custom made suit, and I think one fifth of his entourage that he has with him, and left. Because Bishop Joshua was like, "Here, I'm trying to get men together, and I'm thinking it's gonna be some brawl, something like that." So it kind of ends like that, and of course they have the big super trailer, you know. So that's all I got. This looks like it's going to be a very interesting show. I hope y'all, subscribe, like, and enjoy whatever this case is. And I am out. Good night, everybody.